Hi, it's Studio Sunday and I'm chomping at the bit to get this started and then also like back to where I thought I was. So I'm just gonna give you a quick, so this is what all I did yesterday was make these things thicker, which like was a lot of work. But I think it's going to be worth it in the end. So then now I got to cut out all around here and then true up so that it's just like kind of one thickness. And I am suspecting, like I said at the end of the last studio session update, I think that these are going to have to be thicker too. But these are like simpler shapes and they're smaller. So I think that it's not going to be as much time, and each one I'll probably just put 2 rivets in each. Like that's all I really have to like say right now. I guess like so yesterday I ended up getting hot halfway, or maybe about like 45 minutes in. I was like, I have too many clothes on. So it's getting cold here, and so it's really kind of cold in the basement because it'll get cold at night and then it just keeps the like cold. It's really well insulated, but it gets chilly but in this little tiny room with like my light on and like I'm already feeling like I'm gonna have to switch to a ball cap. But I think one thing that I want to do, I did get this like camera that can go on the visor of a ball cap, and so I think if I might try and wear that for a little while because I haven't really experimented much with what that footage, like with that camera at all. So today might be a good day because I might not be talking a lot. Yesterday I didn't talk a lot because it was just like get work done. And so today might be another day. I mean, it's like, look at this. It's like a wreck. Looks like, my mother would say, looks like a bomb went off in here. But I'm just kind of like, as I use tools, I just leave them on the bench and yeah, I don't know if there's going to be much cleaning as I go. I'm starting to, I mean, it's going to be fine. Every time I do this, every time I like start thinking about it and start getting nervous, I just like talk myself off the ledge. Like it's going to be fine. It's going to be great. Another thing that is new is I think that I'm going to have to add little pads to like the jaws. If these are the jaws, I might have to add a little pad here and here so that it's not just like on a rounded piece of like triple sheet. It's actually like got a surface. And Rob and I were at the hardware store yesterday and I saw this like kind of, so thinking about doing that. Other than that, I'm just like, all right already, quit yapping and let's get to work. So stick with me, and thanks for keeping me motivated to come down here because I'm like, I gotta go down there and do another studio session so I can update them. So it's giving me a sense of purpose. You know it always does, but I can't even tell you how much I'm grateful. All right, let's get cracking.
All right, getting cracking, like she said. I've realized that my intro is booting up all of the cameras and getting them in place. But since I was pretty much doing the same thing that I did all day yesterday, I didn't have my iPhone or my main shooter out. I just was, I realized like I just need to get this done. And in the actual final video, I'll just say, and I did this one too. I don't need to film with the Sony camera or with my iPhone any detail shots because I got plenty of those yesterday. I think that this is a zoom in from the Sony from the GoPro Silver. Maybe I should do more zoom in shots from this angle because it's a good angle. Oh no, you know what? I think that was my Nikon. Yeah, so I basically, like you already know from last studio session, you know, this has to be 3 times as thick, and you can see I'm starting to use scraps because I have plenty of 18 gauge nickel sheet. It's not that. It's just like I'm trying to use my materials in a more responsible way. So just, you can see I'm trying to fit it in and like the corners of little scraps and little cutoffs and all that. Oh yeah, see, I already switched to a ball cap. When did I do that? Did you notice when I did that? I may have done that even before I started. And when I do these voiceovers, I'm so focused on watching and like explaining what I'm doing with my hands. I'm like almost, oh, look, what shoes am I even wearing? Wearing my little like camo flats. They're not slippers, but they're definitely slip-ons. Right. So marking where I'm gonna center punch, where the rivets are gonna go. I feel like I just recorded yesterday's studio session voiceover, and so I feel like I was repeating myself during that, and now I'm repeating myself again. So on the top sheet, I just go ahead and drill them both. And these are both the top sheets of the elements. And deburring them on both sides with a little drill bit that's slightly bigger than the hole was. And then I'm putting it on top of the second layer and marking through the hole with a Sharpie, like one of those mini Sharpies, and then center punching that and drilling just one. And now I'm deburring it. And of course, these are oversized, so it doesn't have to line up with any of the edges. And so then on the the last layer of the 3, do the same thing. Line up, put the Sharpie through the hole, mark it, center punch it, drill 1. And so the second and third layers only have 1 hole in them each. Where did I go? What's happening? Coming back to the bench, so moving all the cameras. Cutting, guess what? The rivet pins. Putting the rivet pins. So I need 4 rivet pins. I can't tell if I just cut all 4 of them right now or if I just did 2. I probably cut all 4 of them with how long it's taking me. All right, and then they're going to be flesh rivets, so I'm using the flex shaft to countersink the outermost sides of this sandwich, if we call it that. I feel like I make a lot of sandwiches on this channel. A lot of little metal sandwiches, but so that countersink allows the head of the rivet to mushroom over, and then when I file it and sand it flush, it, will still stay. So now each of them will have 1 completed rivet, and they'll be pretty much lined up with how the final position is going to be. Getting a different angle. I think I had more energy since it was the morning, so I was getting more angles of me actually doing the riveting. Migrating the cameras over. And then I'm drilling through all of them. So the top one already had the hole in it. And that's how I'm lining up to drill through the rest of the 2 layers. And then countersinking on the back. And then have a little tiny needle file, so I'm getting a burr off of the inside of the holes, because that'll prevent the rivet pin from going in, of course. Okay, rivet pin is in. Rivet pin is riveted. I'm glad I only had to do 2 this day. Yeah, I got them done early in the morning. It's good. It's good stuff. It's riveting. Do you find this riveting? Oh dear. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that joke. Channeling my dad a little bit. Okay, so now I have, I'm holding it in a ring vise because it will get hot. And it's also kind of, you know, after a while holding these tiny things, your fingers do get tired. My fingers were so tired after I finished this project. But yeah, I used one of the snap discs and like with a 60 grit, I think, on it. And then that will help me get kind of rough out the flushness of those rivets. They're not finalized, they're not beautiful, but it's flush enough that then I can keep working with the element and the protrusion of the rivet heads isn't going to get in the way or anything. Oh, I'm putting on a mask. Oh yeah, because I was like, oh man, if I grind too much of this, my face will turn green. No, that's mostly with copper. If you do a lot of like finish work with the flex shaft in copper, it'll kind of get in your face and then you sweat and then your face turns a little green. But I just knew, okay, let's do it right and wear a mask. All the people are watching. Be a good role model, all that. Oh, so this is the Headcam. This is it's the Instago 2 camera. I think the brand is Insta360. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, is this possible? Is it a good shot? Is it worth it? I mean, I think it might be nice for it is pretty good for a point of view shot. And if I'm not moving my head around, like I'm not walking or anything. So yeah, it's not that bad. See, and you can see it a little bit on the brim of my hat. That's like another thing is it's like when I'm filming in my studio, if I'm filming a full body shot, I just took it off my hat. I don't want to also have like this unicorn horn or like a third eye, like the one-eyed, one-horn flying purple people eater, you know, because I want the focus to be on what I'm doing with my hands, not like, what's that weird thing she's wearing on her head? That looks funny. Sorry for that voice. That's my personal internal commentary voice. That's what it seems to be. So if that ever comes out, just know that's what I hear in my head when I'm judging myself. Oh man, look at that. I'm not sponsored by ISO-Teens, but I do have their headphones. All right, and so then I'm using I think that this is 100 grit sandpaper, and I use this clipboard just to, it's not as flat as say a glass surface, but it's like right now at this point, I'm just trying to remove the bulk of it and get all of the file marks and flex shaft, snap disc marks off, I'm just trying to bring it down. So it's like I can get to a finer, flatter surface later. Hone in the flatness, because I'm sure that people really care about that I do that. All right, now oh man, I've been in denial of like this, but now I have to cut around all of the perimeters of these pieces. Man. What a bear of a task. This was pretty early on too. This was November 7th? Yesterday, the previous studio session was the 6th, and then this is November 7th, and it was due on November 22nd. Oh no, sorry, the brim of my hat. It was focusing on, see, these are some of the things that I have to deal with. Like, I don't necessarily notice that it's focusing on my hat, and then I think I have good footage, and then you end up focusing on the stylistically placed, pre-worn parts of my ball cap.
All right. I am not done for the day, but my cameras are all like dead. And here, let me show you what I'm about. See, let me show you what I'm about. Let me show you what I'm doing. Okay, so like I finished so much work. Oh my gosh. So I had already done these ones yesterday. And so then today I did these two, and then I used the snap disc to go in and flatten down all of the rivets that are supposed to be flush rivets. Now there's a couple that are still raised. These ones and these ones are still raised because these are where those little jaws or like kind of jaw pads are going to be. And so I have to be able to grind these off. I'll use the, I keep forgetting what it's called, but I call it a snap disc. Like I'll use the snap disc in the same method, but when I go in to like take these off, there will be nothing holding that rivet in place, and so it'll just slide out. And then I'll be able to use that hole as a pilot hole to drill it deeper, to drill it wider, and then I can have the pads with the CZ encrusted handmade nuts and bolts. So that's all happening. What I have left to do is still a lot of work, but it's gonna be, I mean, you've been watching me sit at my bench. Now I'm not even gonna be hopping over to the drill press and back to the bench and then over to the drill press and back to the bench. Like I'm literally just gonna be sitting here, which is fine, but I'm going to be, like you saw, cutting out cutting off all of the extra that is around all of these pieces and making them, it's gonna go from this, which is like that stack and you can see all the layers, to this, which you can see I've cut through the other two layers that were kind of like wider. And then I'll take this and put it in my vise and then file, let's see, where's my nice aggressive, it's a Grobet Swiss. But what number is it? 0, made in Switzerland, the best. It literally every time I take a file swipe, it wants to pull the piece out of the vise. And so, and then you saw just the final way to finish these flush rivets is to just rub it on the sandpaper, and then you can see the silver and the nickel. I think it's a really nice contrast because it's subtle and it's like a subtle flex. Anyways, so I'm happy with the way it's coming out for sure, but I just have so much work, and all my memory cards are full from yesterday and today. And it's funny, I love coming in here and being in my studio and feeling like I have company, and I am oh, this is going to be so exciting to edit this together. But right now I feel like I need some time in my studio alone. It's not even that I want to be alone. It's just I need some time where I'm not worried about, are the cards full? Which camera is overheating? Because that is, what is it? This one right here is the one that's still overheating, even though I took the sticker off of it. I don't know. I guess I just wasted $70, but it's okay. Just, I guess like out of 4 of them, 3 of them were workhorses and 1 of them is a dud. So, oh, and my laundry, the dryer is done. So I'm going to go like switch my laundry over and come back and just like go to town on getting these things, you know, done. I don't even know if I'm going to finish all of that. I might have to come down here in the mornings, you guys, this week. I'm supposed to go out of town next weekend. So it's funny, these things, like I was like, oh, it's going to be like so small and like light. And I was like worried about them being too like thin, but really like they're going to be kind of substantial, like kind of heavy. Like this is a thick, you know, it's, we're looking like, yeah. But I'm having fun. I'm still having fun. So that's always a good metric. Are you still having fun? Yes, I'm still enjoying myself. And like, I think that it's all gonna come together. I'm just like, yeah, I just gotta finish this step before I can actually start to assemble the working mechanism. But it's a good thing that I didn't start making any of the handmade nuts and bolts, because they would all be too shallow, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't matter, but it's good that I didn't make them yet. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And that's, I think, where I'm going to call it for tonight. So yeah. So I love you. Thanks for keeping me company in my studio and for being interested in the projects that I'm working on in here. And yeah, I can't tell you enough. I feel like I can't tell you enough how much you motivate me to come down here. So that's that. But I think I just need to like get my head down and not worry about the cameras. So thanks so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay. I love you. Mwah! Mwah, 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 mwah. This performance is dedicated to our sponsors, the Patreon members of the Ironclad Crew.